On the other side of it all, on the other side of the culture, our African-American friends are dealing with their own issues because they've got Katt Williams in 2024. In 2024, Katt Williams decided that he was coming to swing out the gate. And what's he coming out with? Not something new, not something new, not something new, and just basically the same old battered down story that he always tells. It's boo-hoo, poor old me. Kevin Hart got all the movies that I was supposed to have. Now I don't have shit, but I'm still rich, bitch. Look at me, I'm Katt Williams. And so Katt Williams goes on the podcast and he drops every single name. He drops every single name of every black comedian that's alive today because he knows every single one doesn't have the fucking balls not to say a word about it. So they're gonna respond. They're gonna make his name now trending and he's gonna be now relevant again. And guess what? He's doing shows. He's doing a show right now. He's got a show, I think, in Philly right now. He's doing shows right now. We're on tour right now. And so, of course, we need all the other comics to do their responses, put his name in the post, whether it's serious or not. Like, we need all the other comics now to respond to this because it's exactly what Katt Williams wanted. This is what we're doing now. This is what we're doing. We're going on podcast and we're talking a lot of shit and we're sprinkling the truth with a lot of exaggeration. I'm sure that in that 2-hour podcast episode, most of what Katt Williams has said is remotely, if not 100% true. Most of the clips that I've seen, he has receipts. We have stand-up specials. We have dates. We have access to the internet. We know what things were said. We know what was going on. So some things he is saying is true. It's a lot like what Alex Jones does. He threw a lot at the wall, a lot like what Kanye does. They throw a lot at the wall, and whatever sticks, whatever goes viral, whatever narrative, whoever responds is the loser. And so in this case, he's dropping names like Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, Cedric the Entertainer, Ludacris, literally any black entertainment artist in the rap, comedy, acting, like Tyler Perry, Martin Lawrence. Like, he named every single some of them passed, unfortunately, but most of the names he mentioned are of living entertainment artists. And so now everyone's up in a tizzy. It's fine because they don't realize what's going on. I'm here to tell you, this is just what he does. This is the third time in the last 3 or 4 years he's done this. This is what inspired Kevin Hart's rant on the Breakfast Club, right? We got that that was like 4, 5, 6 years ago. So this has been a new thing. Katt Williams has been coming after Kevin Hart for the last 5, 10, 15 years, ever since he did start to turn down those movie roles. They started giving them to Kevin Hart. That's just what it was. And Kevin says that. He was in the lane and then he got out. He started to not show up. He started doing things sideways. You know the clip. Where is it? Put the clip in.
Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Katt was in that position at one point.
You were the guy.
Yeah.
You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You fucked off promo shoots.
And so that's just kind of, you know what I mean? That's where it's we've seen this all before. But of course, Katt Williams, much like a lot of his comedy specials and his stand-ups, we're going to recycle the jokes and the topics and the material and say the same things over and over again. And it's we get the nostalgia's there and he gets the people there. I don't know. It's just not he doesn't. When's the last time you had any inkling or any reason or any efforts or any amount of energy to want to go to a Katt Williams comedy show? I don't know. I could think of 5 other stand-up comedians that I'd go see before that. You know what I mean? I don't know. And most of them are just from 2 or 3 of them are from America's Got Talent. And so that should really put that into perspective as to where Kevin Hart and Katt Williams really stand. So big accusations. You know what I mean? And so we'll see. I'm gonna let Carlos. He's on the story. He's working on it. I think for this week for the podcast. We're gonna see what 280 Plus does with this story and what he has to say. He did a great job covering the Diddy stuff. I went there for all the Diddy news. That's why we didn't really talk about it here. We don't need to get into that drama. But the Katt Williams stuff, and I mean, listen, some of it, like I said, it's true. It might be true. It might be, some might call it conspiracy. Some might call it, I don't know. But I mean, like, for example, like this, I mean, this is kind of crazy, right? I mean, you didn't think, like, what would Ludacris have to do with Katt Williams in his career?
No, so there was a crossroads where we were both invited to an Illuminati thing, and it had to be one or the other of us, and decisions had to be made. So it was both of us, we were equal. One of us had to cut off all their hair and couldn't do the sideburn thing no more with the points. And the next person, they said, was going to get $200 million because they were going to pay him $10 million a movie to do 20 movies. And that's how the conversation happened. One of those persons turned out to be Ludacris, and the other person turned out to be Katt Williams.
Listen, let's look. Listen, there's an easy way to prove it. We're going to prove it right now. I guarantee you, let's see. If Ludacris is on his 20th movie, Katt Williams might have just blown the top off this whole thing. I swear to God, here we go. 2001, The Fast and Furious. 2001, The Wash. 2003, Too Fast and Furious. 2004, Crash. Hustle and Flow, 2005. Lil Pimp, 2005. Fred Claus, 2007. Max Payne, 2008. Fast and Furious, 2009. Gamer, 2009. No Strings Attached, 2011. Fast and Furious, 2011. New Year's Eve, 2011. Fast and Furious 6, 2013. Fast and Furious 7. Fast and Furious 8, Fast and Furious 9, Fast and Furious 10, and this year they dropped Dashing Through the Snow on Disney Plus starring Ludacris. If my math is correct, that's 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 19 to 20 movies. The Illuminati has successfully reeled in and captured Ludacris as we know him. You thought, thanks to Katt Williams. Listen, this is what I'm talking about. You can't watch, you've seen in this episode, we've already covered it. You can't watch CBS or NBC for your news. You need to start listening to people like Katt Williams. We would never have known. You would never have known. How are you supposed to go into Fast and Furious 11 knowing now that one of your favorite characters is a part of the Illuminati, dude? How are you supposed to sleep at night knowing one of your favorite rappers is a part of the Illuminati? Ludacris, one of your favorite rappers, you wouldn't have thought that was the rapper on your playlist, a part of the Illuminati. You would have thought there might have been another one, but Ludacris, Katt Williams, I mean, I didn't know. And I mean, thank goodness now I'm going to go finish watching the rest of this Katt Williams podcast because you can't, but listen, there's no evidence of wrongdoing between either Katt Williams. He's insane. The man's clearly insane. I mean, he did have a really good take. He did have a really good take on Kanye. And mental health. That was kind of interesting. Do I have that clipped up? I might not even. Let's see if we can find that clip. And I think that's like the one. That's the one thing here. Yeah, here we go. He asked him about his opinions on Kanye.
I suspect that we're pretty awful people if we say that somebody got a mental illness and then we watch what they do. If you say somebody got special needs, then why would you be watching them and holding them accountable like everybody else? Wouldn't you grade them on a curve? Wouldn't you go, whew, this guy? Because, I mean, what are we reacting to? What are we reacting to? You're the one that put him in a position where he thought he was God and could call himself Jesus. And you're the one told a guy that writes musical lyrics that he was a genius. Mm-hmm. You're the one that's like, so what do you expect? The guy married a whore. Like, what?
Oh, Lord.
Like, I didn't mean it like that. I mean, married her because she was one. Not he didn't know. He understood that he wanted that. He courted that. That's what he wanted, to base his family on.
She got a good heart, though.
And I'm sure she does. I mean, I'm sure Kim Kardashian has an amazing heart. It's the biggest heart I think that anyone has in all of Hollywood. And so Katt Williams, man, I mean, we'll see where he takes it from here.